أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I seek refuge in Allah from Shaitan the accursed, and I begin in the name of Allah most gracious, most merciful. 2 days ago I made a video and posted it on YouTube. Merely what I was trying to do there was highlight the fact that we have a common enemy as a people, and we ought to unite and raise those red flags where necessary and point out the evil and the deception of this enemy and the agenda of this enemy as well. And perhaps in us doing that, it will cause us to unite and come together as a people. And even though we have our differences, religious, culturally, otherwise, politically as well, we would be able to work together and to bring about a society that is free from, crime and evil and so on. However, some of my sentiments may have been misunderstood, and I want to make it absolutely clear that I am in no way in approval of what is happening as a result of what took place on that particular day, that drive-by shooting. Certainly I condemn the actions of those who perpetrated that act, and it has not been clear as yet or proven that Muslims were in fact responsible for that act, even though we are hearing chatter over the different mediums that we communicate on, different social platforms and so on. We also need to understand that as a consequence of that, there was a voice note that went around indicating that it was indeed Muslims, and a threat was sent out. And I think I made mention of that in my post, threatening to harm or kill Muslim sisters and wearing the hijab, and the Muslim children, and so on and so forth. And then subsequent to that, there was a response from another individual indicating that they are going to, kill certain people from the who claim to be Rastas or from the Rasta city, and they're pointing out to their grandmothers and daughters and so on and so forth. And then there was another post, I think it was somebody making mention of the name Bombay, and indicating that what would be done to him, and etc. etc. Now, all these are reactions, and these type of responses does not indicate that we live in a normal society. It does not speak to proper behavior, proper etiquette, proper manners, character, and so on. And it's a shame that a country like Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of this country, our children, our youth, our up-and-coming young men and women, viewing this type of rhetoric and this type of behavior from our young people, and this is the type of behavior that is being exhibited, and we ask the question, why is all of this? Now, the person in particular who sent out the voice note regarding the Muslim sisters, harming the Muslim sisters, killing Muslim sisters and children, a photograph was posted on social media indicating that this was the individual who did that. We are not sitting that these individuals or these voice notes are the voice of Rasta City or this person is from Rasta City, or as the case may be, or this person is in fact guilty of sending out that voice note. But if it is in fact related to somebody who is from Rasta City, and he professed to be a member of the Rasta City gang or movement, or it's a term that I hate to use, just as how I hate to use the term Muslim city, and sort of talk about there's a war between Rasta City and Muslims and so on. I hate that that is even an idea in our heads in this country. But anyways, if indeed, or whosoever, as a matter of fact, sent out that voice note, I am calling on all the relevant religious groups in this country, all right, that is associated with the Rasta movement, to come out clearly and make a statement denouncing such actions and such rhetoric by someone who is purporting to be a member of the Rasta City movement or Rasta City gang or whatever the case may be. Because this is something that we need to stand up against, and we cannot allow that to happen in our community. And I am sure that there are persons in this country, religious leaders in this country, from the Rastafarian movement, who perhaps is aware of who is responsible for that voice note. And like I said, we are not certain for sure who exactly it is. I have been trying to find out and zero in on that bit of information. I have been unable to get that information at this point in time. But I want to say emphatically clear that that sort of rhetoric is not and should not be allowed. There must be someone that is associated to this individual who could at least give him a good advice, or advise him on how he should respond and in what manner he should respond, rather than send out a post like this. And I want to make it absolutely clear, don't for once think that the Muslim community is going to sit by and allow anyone to harm our Muslim sisters. We hold the honor of our Muslim sisters very dearly, and I am not going to tolerate it. And I guess I'm speaking on behalf of all the Muslim brothers in this country. We are not going to tolerate any attack on our Muslim families, our Muslim sisters, etc. And I will give you one instance. During the time of the Caliphate of Mutassim, there was this woman whose hijab or head covering was taken off or pulled off in Rome. And there was a call for the Caliph at that time, who was Mutassim, to come and respond to what the sister had experienced. And she called out, as a matter of fact, and exclaimed, "Oh Mutassim, where are you?" And that message got to him in Egypt. And at that point in time, he was about to drink a cup of water. And when he got the message, the water was on his lips. But you know what he did? He immediately put down that cup of water. He did not even take a sip again. And he dispatched an army to go and fight for the honor of that sister. An entire army. And it is said that that army was so huge, when they got to Rome, they still had soldiers leaving Egypt. This is the passion as regards to our Muslim sisters. So don't for one thing that you would say something like this and get away with it. It is not acceptable, it is not right, and it is forbidden that you do that. And I'm calling on all the religious leaders that is attached to the Rastafarian movement to come clear and make a statement denouncing this type of rhetoric. And we're not going to accept it. And similarly, the individual who responded to that and indicated the same and pointed out to the grandmothers, I am sending a clear message to that individual. That is not how you respond. That is a behavior not becoming of a society based on positivity. Right? That is not the type of language that should be spoken when we want to make better and create a better environment and better communities, better households, better families. This is nonsense what is happening. I can't understand what type of behavior is that. Are we really men? Are we really men of substance to react in a manner like this and to make statements like this? We are attacking women who are our mothers, women who are our mothers, who brought us into this world and who have cared for us. Young men, whosoever you are, and where you ever have come from, you need to change your attitude. You need to develop better manners. You need to work on your character. This is something that is ruining our country and and this beautiful twin island state that we have here in the Caribbean. I mean, perhaps some of you may say it's not beautiful no more, and you have all rights to say that. Look at the crime rate in our country today. Look at the high incidence of murders in this country. And look who are the ones being murdered. Look who are the ones who are falling to their deaths. It's young people, the future of our nation, the future of our country, the future of the state. The ones who we are hoping is going to hold in the reins of power tomorrow. And if this is the behavior of our young people, and the way that we react, this is the way we react, this is the way we respond to circumstances, I think it is high time that we stop behaving like ostriches. And let us understand that we all have a responsibility. I'm calling on all religious leaders. These individuals belong to a community. These individuals belong to organizations. The heads of those organizations need to say something. You need to stand for something or stand for nothing at all. Where is the element of manhood in the leadership of these organizations? Whether it be a gang, a church, an institution, an agency, whatever it may be, where is the element of manhood? Where is the element of honor? Where is the element of truth and justice and fairness? I am not too certain that this was an act of the Muslims. And likewise, I am not too certain that those voice notes came from Rasta City, or it came from the Muslims, or whatever is the case may be. I don't recognize the voices. But people who are aware and who knows who are these individuals bear a responsibility. Not to post it on social media and indicate that this was the individual who said such and such and such. Why not approaching this individual? Why don't we approach this individual? People who has the authority to do so within his organization, within his church, or his home, his family, and sit these individuals down and teach them something positive for once in their lives. This is not going to end well. And as we continue the journey, we're going to see worse happening if it is we're going to address this now. And again, I'm calling on all religious groups, the Muslims, the leaders of the Muslims. I'm not the only one that represents Muslims in this country. There are other Muslim leaders, there are scholars, there are imams, heads of organizations. We need to come out and we need to state emphatically our position in these issues and denounce and separate ourselves and guard ourselves from this type of nonsense that is taking place. We need to bring these individuals to account. What is going to happen at the end of the day? Everybody is going to be killed because there's going to be reprisals. What are we achieving? I'll tell you what it is we're achieving. We are achieving exactly. Well, not actually we are achieving anything. Actually what we are doing, we are delivering the objective of the enemy. We are delivering the objectives on a silver platter to them. Our enemies, we are delivering the objective, their objective, to them on a silver platter. We're giving to them exactly what it is they want from us. And we are such foolish people in this country to continue to believe that we are fighting and we are standing for something, when in truth and in fact, we are standing and fighting against our own selves. We are fighting and standing against our own selves. And I don't care what anybody says. We are our worst enemies. We are our worst enemy. And if it is we can't realize that, and we can't see through it, see through the lies, see through the deception, then I don't know what it is we can, what it is I can expect of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We see what is happening before our very eyes. We have our nation, a country just next door to us, on the brink of war, on the brink of total civil unrest. And it's going to spill over into Trinidad, because we have citizens from there who are in Trinidad and sympathetic to what is happening in Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago is being used as a platform to spy on Venezuela by America and Russia and look what we are doing. We are destroying the very fabric of our society. The very element that knits together that fabric we want to destroy. We are threatening our women. We threatening our women. You will have to be crazy to do such thing. Because don't believe for once that I'm going to sit back and I'm going to allow anybody to dispose of our women like that. We guard our women very passionately in Islam. And it's just this the Muslim woman that is sacred. The life of every woman is sacred. The education of every woman is sacred. The well-being of every woman is sacred. And where are the religious leaders when those pronouncement was made by that individual wanting to kill Muslim sisters wearing hijab and children? Where were the voices of the religious leaders who claim to stand for truth and justice? Who claim to honor the word of God Almighty? Who claim to honor the practice of the beloved prophets that walk the earth? Where are the voices of those leaders? Where are the voices of the women movements in this country? We heard just recently Hema Ramkisoon, a journalist in one of our morning programs, conducted an interview, and there was a big outpouring of criticism the way she handled that particular interview. And for sure, we had a women's group speak out against those criticisms, and came in support of Hema. But where was this women's group when this young man called for the killing of Muslim women in hijab? Are these not women as well? The women that leads these women organizations in this country should be ashamed of themselves. Because you are assisting and encouraging this type of nonsensical behavior from our young men in this country who seem to have no direction at all, who don't seem to know where they're heading, where they're going, where they're going to be 5 years from now, what will be their position. Where would their families stand in the face of all the fallout of their actions? I'm very serious. I'm very, very serious. Our behavior is despicable. We should be ashamed of ourselves. This is the product of our hard work. Now, this is the product of our hard work in this country. What have we been working for? What have we been working to establish? What have we been developing over the years? We should all be ashamed. And those individuals who are sharing these comments and these voice notes and posting the photograph of the individual who they assume to be the owner of the voice, that is not proper behavior. We have to be more sensitive to what we're doing, because you have actually placed that individual on a target board, and some dumb fool is going to want to kill him, not knowing for sure whether he is actually the owner of that voice or not. But somebody owns that voice. And there are people who knows that person. There are religious leaders in this country that knows who is that person. And similarly, the one who responded. And the other one who spoke about Bombay, the people who knows these individuals, the community leaders who knows them. These community leaders, I'm telling you, you have lost the element of manhood. You have lost the element of manhood, and you do not have the requisite of leadership. You don't have it. So if it is we really want to be counted as true leaders in this country, do the right thing. In any organization, anything that we do, there are boundaries that you do not cross. Going to the jails. Going to the jails in this country, and they will tell you when individuals cross those boundaries, what they do to them in prison. Even the criminals in this country, they have boundaries. Today, where are those boundaries? Where are those boundaries? I am not condoning crime, mind you. I am not condoning crime. But we're talking about a very serious issue here. An issue where individuals who claim to be leaders and claim to be respected they are not truly representing that position and that role. Where is the honor amongst our men today? Where it is? Again, I am condemning the response of those individuals calling out to our women and threatening them with violence and death. And I'm also condemning the silence of the leaders of those religious organizations attached to the Rastafarian movement for remaining silent on this issue. And you all know who you are. I'm not an enemy to you all. I'm about the best friend you can have. The very said person who made those comments about my Muslim sisters and children, you could come knocking on my door in the morning and I would treat you with respect, because I am of the understanding that you never got that respect while you were growing up. I'm of the understanding that you never got proper guidance, and I'm of the understanding that you never received love and affection. I'm prepared to give you that. I'm prepared to teach you the right and correct thing. And this goes the same to everyone. So please, people, understand your roles, understand your purpose in this life. Understand that you were created especially for a particular purpose. And we have to fulfill those purposes, and we have to fulfill our obligation and our roles, the position that we hold, to change society, to bring it to a better place. And all of us has our part to play. And those who are criticizing, those who are on the receiving end, we have to be careful how we respond, because our response is going to write our history tomorrow. Let's just pay close attention to that. Okay? So I hope that what I've said, I did not disrespect anybody, and I did not harm anyone in any way. If I did that, please accept my apology, and I hope God Almighty most of all was pleased with what I just did, my utterances, and if I've made any error or committed any wrong, I beg of His forgiveness. People of Trinidad and Tobago, you're seeing a Muslim talking to you, but I'm not just a Muslim, I'm a human being. I have the same blood flowing through my veins. I have things that hurt me just as much as there are things that hurt you as well. I have serious concerns, and so too you have concerns as well. What's important to understand is that we all want to feel safe in our spaces. We all want to look ahead and see a bright future, not for just us, but for our children and the future generation. We want to see Trinidad and Tobago stand out. As a model country, a model society, especially in this part of the world. How are we going to achieve that? We all have to work together. We have to come together. We have to unite, and we have to understand our common problems. We have to understand and recognize who is our common enemy, so that we can all raise those red flags and fight against and stand up against and repel those negatives. And it's only then our nation, our country is going to start smiling again. Thank you.